So we're back here once again with Standard 14. We're going to be discussing American imperialism. In Standard 14, we're going to be explaining America's evolving relationship with the world at the turn of the 20th century. These are the key terms that go along with Standard 14. And we're going to go ahead and jump into it. So on the left, you've seen this image before. What does this image represent? Absolutely right. Manifest destiny. And manifest destiny is America's attempt to expand out west, conquer land all the way to the Pacific. But once you get to the Pacific Ocean, the fun stops, where America didn't want that fun to end. So they're going to go beyond the Pacific and expand into other territories. And these are the other territories that's seen right here on this map. So how does America go about doing this and why? That's what we're going to be discussing. So part of the reason why is America felt like they were the teachers that should teach these other countries how to be American, because the American way is the best way. And that some way America had this burden to go out and teach these other people how to be civilized. Kind of part of this whole white man's burden that you talk about in world history. So American imperialism, reasons for American imperialism. America wanted more natural resources. They needed to expand to maintain national security. They wanted a military base out in Southwest Asia. That's very important to know. You would definitely see that on your test. It was America's destiny to take over other countries in order to compete with people like Britain and Germany on a global scale. So, how do we get this territory? We're going to enter the Spanish-American War because of the sinking of the U.S. battleship, the USS Maine. America had their rallying cry. They sunk the Maine to hell with Spain. Remember, there's a theme in American history: ships cause wars. The sinking of the Maine is going to cause America in the Spanish-American War. We'll talk about more ships that cause wars as we go on through U.S. history. So what are the results of the Spanish-American War? Well, the U.S. is going to gain Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines. And they're going to let Cuba remain an independent country. So as we see here on the left, America is looking at these different territories, wanting to consume these different places. And on the right, you have America feeling like it is the caretaker to these places. And in some way, America has to take care of these places because they can't take care of themselves. And this is what the senator is talking about right here, that America has to go into these territories. But America is not going into these territories for the right reason, but the Americans going into this territory to exploit the territories and deny the people their rights. And many people felt like that was not right. So there's a debate over whether America should be involved in imperialism. So there's going to be an anti-imperialist movement. There's going to be anti-imperialist groups. And these people are going to preach isolationists, that America should stay out of world affairs, that it should stick to itself. It should allow these countries to become independent nations, just like America itself once fought for its own independence from European powers. They felt like American imperialism would drag America into future conflicts, more world wars. So Theodore Roosevelt believed the opposite. Theodore Roosevelt wanted to go into the world and take over places, annex Hawaii, annex the Danish Islands, build a big navy, and become a world power. And as president, he is going to implement those tactics. He's going to add to the Monroe Doctrine. As you see Monroe Doctrine in the image on the left. On the right, he's going to add a big stick, which the big stick was the U.S. Navy. As you can see, Theodore Roosevelt has a cannon pointing at European kings, saying that, hey, if you come over here and mess with Latin American countries, we will use force, but only when it's in the best interest of the United States of America. And what's going to be an interest of the United States of America is what happens in Panama. The U.S. is going to take a part of Panama and they're going to build the Panama Canal. This Panama Canal is going to allow the U.S. to connect the Atlantic to the Pacific, which is going to create a faster route from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, which is going to help increase trade between the East Coast and the West Coast of America, but also between a lot of different states on the continent of Europe and on the continent of Asia. And this Panama Canal is going to be used by a lot of different people, and the U.S. providing this is going to bring the U.S. a lot of money. The Panama Canal is going to increase trade. It allows for cheap trade. It's a faster sea route that connects the Atlantic to the Pacific. And this is going to give the U.S. a greater reason to implement the Roosevelt Corollary. So these are the review questions. Make sure you go back and get those. And that's the end of standard number 14. Please join us back with standard number 15. Make sure you're studying and getting ready for that end of course test or any other test that you're taking. Tell your friends, like the video, and make sure you subscribe. You guys have a good day. See you back with standard number 15.